Okay. There you go, Carla.
Okay, I'm going to give everyone a couple more minutes to join, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just start with a little bit of housekeeping. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Carla Leon, and I am a program coordinator at California Foundation for Independent Living Centers. I have been with CFILC for about 7 months now, and I will be helping moderate today's webinar. For accessibility purposes, I will be going over a list of options. First off, if you would like to access captions, you can go to the meeting controls on the bottom of your screen and select the CC icon titled Live Transcript. You may also click on the option Show Subtitles to gain access to captioning. I will be dropping a stream text link into the chat, which you may also use. This is a great option because you can change the font size, color, or make captioning full screen. There will also be an ASL interpreter live on camera for visual purposes. Please note you can use the slider bar to minimize the slides to view both our upcoming presentation and the Zoom videos. Similarly, if you are blessed with 2 screens, you may adjust to view the presentation on one side of our chat and Zoom on the other. Please note we will have our chat open for discussion and comments. Here at CFILC, we have a zero tolerance policy on harassment, so let's keep things respectful. At the end of the presentation, we will have a Q&A section. If you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to write your questions in the Q&A section. They will be answered accordingly. If verbally stating your question is more accessible, please raise your hand and we will call on you in the Q&A section. We will try our best to address everyone's questions with the time that we have allotted. Thank you, everybody, for sitting through my bit of housekeeping. I will go ahead and pass it along to Victor to get us started.
Thank you, Carla. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today. Today, me and my colleague will be presenting on different iOS accessibility features and apps. Next slide, please. My name is Victor Mendoza. My pronouns are he, him, and I am the Ability Tools Program Coordinator 2. On this slide, there is a picture of myself in an outdoor setting. I am wearing a white shirt and a green jacket. I have brown skin and black hair. Next to my picture, there is an Ability Tools logo. Today, I will be sharing some fun accessibility apps that are available to iOS users. I will now hand it over to our other presenter.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Riestra. My pronouns are she, her, ella. I am the Yo Disabled and Proud statewide youth organizer. Some quick image description about myself is that I am a Latina woman with brown skin, brown eyes, dark brunette hair with blonde highlights, and I am wearing on that picture of March for Our Lives shirt with a blazer, black jeans, and I am in a subway. Next to myself, I have the Yo Disabled and Proud logo, which has a fist going into the air. All right, let's begin. Before we begin with the presentation, it is very important for everyone to know a quick note. This webinar is for people moderately proficient in using Apple products. Please stow away your Siri because at one point we're going to be discussing Siri and how it's activated. So we just want to make sure that your Siri is not activated. In addition to that, please do know that the resources will be shared within a week or so. All right, next. Before we begin with the presentation of what I am going to be covering today, which is essentially some of the features that the iPhone carries, I just want to provide a quick overview of what the presentation is going to entail. First, I'm going to be covering some quick general section of what the iPhone carries, then go into the settings portion of some awesome features that that settings provide, before going into the accessibility feature and covering different categories of what the accessibility feature provides. With that, let's get started with general. Within general, we're going to be covering two specific sections. Those include keyboard and language and region. All right, next. For keyboard, for you to have access to keyboard, you will first go to settings, then move into general, third go into keyboard before ending with add new keyboard. This can be used to add a new language for your keyboard. More often than not, if you are multilingual, you want more than one language. I know in my case, I speak 4 languages, but like for each individual language, it is very much different from one another. And some you have accents and so on. By being able to provide the new keyboard, it would automatic change your keyboard to be able to provide those additional features that you need to be able to type in that language. Next. Now for language and region. In order to be able to look in language and region, you'll first start with settings, then move to general. Third, go to language and region before going to add language. This can be used to customize your preferred language. And this also coincides with being able to add the additional keyboard language, because what you can do from here is we have our iPhones are automatically set in a specific language. More often than not, it's English. So you can't, if English is not your dominant language, you can be able to change it towards your dominant language and be able to customize it where the apps and pretty much the whole phone can be set in your preferred language. Next. All right, now going into the settings portion. Within the settings portion, we're going to be covering 4 different sections. Those include the phone, personal hotspot, Siri and search, before ending in battery. Next. For phone, you would first start with going into the settings app, then moving to phone, before going into my number. This can be utilized essentially to find your number. And we know oftentimes when we get a new number, it is kind of hard remembering what your new number is. So this automatically helps you by being able to go into your phone and be able to search for your new number and being able to provide it towards someone else. Next. All right, now we have personal hotspot. We will first begin by going into the settings app, moving towards personal hotspot feature, before going into the allow others to join. This can be used if you are in an area where you don't have Wi-Fi and want to use your hotspot or share it with someone else. We all love to travel and we all love to be able to have coffee, not always be at home. So oftentimes those locations don't have Wi-Fi. So this is really cool where you like each and every single one of our phones has its own personal hotspot, and we could be able to turn it on to be able to have access towards the hotspot from our phone to be able to go into our Wi-Fi and be able to utilize it as best as we could. Or if not, more often than not, we have a friend or a family member that doesn't have Wi-Fi and wants to be able to utilize their Wi-Fi. We can be able to open up our hotspot to be able to share it with our friend or family member so they could be able to have access to it and be able to get the benefit of going into the internet as they please. Next. Now going into Siri and search. In order to have access to Siri and search, you'll start with settings and then go to Siri and search feature. Siri is pretty awesome because you can customize it as you please. So in the bottom, I have 4 different sections on how you can customize your individual Siris. Such can include turning on the feature to listen for Hey Siri. You automatically have your Siri responding to you if you open up that feature. And if that doesn't work for you, and if you don't want to be able to converse or listen to your Siri, you can you have access to be able to put the push on the side button to be able to automatically set up your Siri to work best for you. And then other things that you can add is that you can customize what language you want your Siri to respond to you. Such include whether you want them to respond to you in a male versus female voice, or if you want it to be in an Australian voice, a British voice. It's kind of awesome in case if you want to have a different language or just a different accent and how they respond to you. In addition to that, you can have the language you want Siri to respond to. So it wouldn't necessarily just be the way that Siri is responding to you, but also the language to you, because one is specifically targeted towards the accent and how they correspond to you. Then the other one is in a way connected towards the general, depending on how we automatically move our language and settings to. You can be able to switch the language to have it respond to you in the language that you choose. Next. Now going into battery. If you want to have access to battery, you'll first go into the settings app, move on to battery feature before going into battery percentage, and then going into low power mode. Some awesome features that the battery provides to you is that you can turn on the battery percentage to see what percent you have on your phone before it dies. So oftentimes our phone, we don't have that turned on, so we can't know how long we have before our phone dies. But if we have that, we get a specific number and being able to know how long you have before a phone dies. Then you have the low power mode to conserve battery life. More often than not, the low power mode is utilized if you want to conserve more battery. If your phone is dying and you don't have a charger like near your vicinity, that automatically helps conserve the battery life before you need to charge your phone and being able to have access to that. And then lastly, if you press battery health, you're able to see the health of your battery. What is awesome about battery health, though, is that it gives you a lot of data on what your battery health looks like. What does this mean? Is that it can provide with you some data on how much you're spending in each individual app you're using, the dates that you're using those apps, the time you are using per each individual app, towards how much you use on your phone as a whole. And this is very essential and very important because it helps preserve your battery and in general be able to take care of your phone. Next. Now we are in the accessible categories. Within the accessible categories, there are 4 basic categories that we're going to be delving deep into. Those include vision, physical and motor, hearing, and general. Next. Within the vision category, we're going to be delving deep into 3 different topics. Those include zoom, display and text size, and audio description. Next. To go on to zoom, you'll first start with going into settings, then accessibility, then going on to zoom before turning on your zoom on. If you want to zoom in on your screen, choose the maximum zoom level you want before turning on the zoom setting. And why is this important? Is if you don't first go into your maximum zoom level, you may go in too deep, so it would make it hard to maneuver your phone and being able to kind of zoom it out once again to best fit like how zoom in you want your phone to be. So it is really essential because once you're able to customize the zoom level and where you want it to be, you can be able to utilize your phone as you please and have it towards a degree that best fits you. Next. All right, next we have display and text size. In order to be able to go into display and text size, you'll first start by going into settings, then accessibility, before going into display and text size. These are important here because you can turn on the bold text as well as the auto brightness. So this means that if you have some issues when it comes towards just in general, the writing being a little too light, or if your phone is not bright enough to be able to look at what you're reading or what text you are getting or emails you are getting, you can be able to bold the text just to darken it quite a bit for you to be able to have access to being able to read the writing, as well as turning on the brightness just to be able to brighten up your phone so it can work best for you as much as you need it to be able to look at what messages you are getting. Next. Now for audio description, you would first go into settings, then accessibility, before going into audio descriptions. And here you would turn that on. This essentially would give you different audio descriptions just based on different messages that you are getting, and those would be automatically sent to you. Next. Now we'll be delving deep into physical and motor category. Within physical and motor category, we're going to be delving into 2 different topics. Those include keyboards and touch. Next. For keyboards, you would first go into settings, then accessibility, before moving into physical and motor and ending with keyboards. If you follow along with this, you're able to turn on your keyboard to have full access. What does that mean is that you're able to get different emojis, different like writing, like for example, the different languages that you had added in the beginning in general towards different numbers. In essence, it'll be able to provide you with all the different features that a keyboard can provide and for you to be able to have full access to it. Next. Now for touch, we in order to be able to go into that, you will first start going into settings, then moving into accessibility, before going into physical and motor category, then going to touch before going to assistive touch. This essentially allows you to use your iPhone if one has difficulty touching the screen. And in addition to that, you can utilize assistive touch to adjust your volume, lock your screen, use multi-finger gestures, restart your phone, or replace buttons with just one tap. Next. Now, ending with the final category, which is the hearing category, we're going to be delving deep into 3 different topics here. Those include sound recognition, live captioning, and ending with LED flash for alerts. Next. For sound recognition, you'll first go into settings, move into accessibility, before going into hearing category, and ending with sound recognition. This causes your iPhone to listen for certain sounds you choose to recognize, and it would notify you when those sounds are being recognized. This is a really awesome feature, in my opinion, because it provides you with different categories of different features that you can automatically have your phone recognize. So that can include whether a dog is barking, a cat is meowing towards, if glass is breaking, or something, a broom is moving, or etc. You're able to turn on each individual feature that you would want to turn on. So once your phone automatically recognizes those features, it would send you an automatic response that something is occurring and those sounds are being recognized. Next. Now for live captioning. In order to go into live captioning, you'll first go into settings, then move into accessibility, before going into hearing, subtitles and captioning, and then live captioning. If you turn on closed captions plus subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing, it is provided when available and preferred closed captioning or subtitles. This essentially chooses the background and how big or small you want it to be, as well as kind of the style and how your captions are being demonstrated to you. And then for live captions, if you turned it on real-time text, RTT, they can be utilized for specific apps and the way that you are getting live captions. Next. Now, in order to go into LED flash for alerts, you'll first start with going into settings, moving into accessibility, then going into hearing, audio/visual before going into LED flash for alerts and turning that on. This is also a really cool feature because you can customize it as much as you need to be able to fit your phone. What does this mean? Is that you can create your phone to have the LED flash if you are getting a text message or if you are getting a call, etc. You can be able to turn it on for whatever you need to turn it on to. And then you can be able to just put the different sounds of what you want your phone to be able to respond to through the LED flashing. And that is, I think, a pretty cool feature, especially if you don't automatically or if you automatically are not able to listen towards the text that you are getting, or if a call you are getting, this automatically creates that flash for you to be able to know that you are getting some type of message or some type of call from your phone. And with that, that is the end of my presentation of different features that the iPhone carries. And now I'll pass it towards my colleague, Victor, to be able to present on different features, on different apps that the iPhone can provide to you.
Thank you, Jessica. Hello, everyone. My name is Victor, and today I'm going to be talking about accessible apps that are available in the App Store for iOS users. The apps I will be going over today are Voice Stream Reader, Seeing Eye GPS, Ava Transcribe Voice to Text, Prolo to Go, Dexteria, Deafwake, SuperKeys, Colorblind Pal, Era, One Record, Sign for Me, Seeing AI, Natural Reader Text to Speech, and iAccess Live Accessibility. In the next few slides, I'll be providing a brief overview of each individual app and will answer any questions at the end of the presentation. Next slide. First off, I'm going to be talking about the Voice Dream Reader app. On this slide, we have the app icon for the Voice Dream Reader app. This app is great for low vision iOS users because it reads any text on your device out loud. This includes text messages, Word docs, news articles, and PDF documents. Voice Dream Reader gives users the ability to make the text size large and make the text high contrast for low vision readers so they can follow along with the audio if they desire. This is a great accessible app to download because it gives users the option to read with their ears. Some tools built into the app include text highlighting and annotation with the ability to export your annotations and notes, full text search, and a built-in dictionary. The Voice Stream Reader app is available for download on the App Store for $30, and additional add-on features can be purchased in the app, such as different voice options for a small fee. Next slide. Another great accessibility app is Seeing Eye GPS. On this slide, we have the app icon for the Seeing Eye GPS app. Seeing Eye GPS is a fully accessible turn-by-turn GPS app with unique features for blind and low vision users. Seeing Eye GPS alerts users when they are approaching turns, wandering off track, or approaching a crosswalk. In addition, the app describes nearby places with the built-in look-around wand. When you point your device in a certain direction, the app will alert users of points of interest, intersections, and all heading changes are automatically announced. With the latest version of Seeing Eye GPS, users can have the app run in the background. Seeing Eye GPS is available to download for free, but it does require a monthly subscription of $5.99. Next slide. Ava Transcribe Voice to Text is another great accessibility app available for iOS users. On this slide, we have the app icon for the Ava app. Ava uses captions to transcribe voice to text to provide accessibility for deaf or hard of hearing iOS users. Speech-to-text services are available to Apple users at all times. Ava transcribes real-time audio with 99% accuracy, and the app gives users the ability to help Ava improve by allowing users to tap on words to correct them or add their own customized vocabulary. Ava is extremely helpful for virtual work environments or classrooms. All transcripts can be saved within the app so you can look back at them later. Ava is available to download for free and has different subscription packages depending on your needs, including a monthly subscription for $14.99, a yearly subscription for $120, and a 1-hour captioning service for $3.99. Next slide. Prolo to Go is a great accessibility app made to help users communicate. On this slide, we have the app icon for the Prolo to Go app. Prolo to Go is a fully customizable app designed to help users build language skills and communication skills. The app lets users tap images or type words to help individuals communicate. It is a simple yet effective augmentative and alternative communication tool that is available to users at all times on their iOS device. For users that low vision or fine motor disabilities, Proloquo To Go offers 23 pre-programmed grid sizes and accessibility settings that are supported with Apple's VoiceOver accessibility feature. The app has over 25,000 built-in symbols in addition to allowing users to use their own pictures from their photo library. This app is great because it can grow with the user. It can say single words or full sentences, all in the same app. Proloquo To Go offers 100 languages and has different natural-sounding adult and children voices. This app is available to download for a one-time fee of $249.99 and has additional in-app purchase options depending on your needs. Next slide. Dexteria-Fine Motor Skills is another great app that gives iOS users the ability to turn their device into a therapeutic tool designed to help develop fine motor skills. On this slide, we have the app icon for the Dexteria app. This app has unique hand and finger activities that take full advantage of your iOS device's multi-touch screen to help build strength, control, and dexterity in your hands and fingers. Dexteria increases coordination and motor control in the hands for both kids and adults. While using the app will create personal performance reports to help users understand their fine motor skills. In addition, the app helps users set up consultations with occupation therapists near them. Dexteria is available to download for $6.99 and has additional in-app purchase options. Next slide. DeafWake is a medical iOS app that was created by a deaf person to help deaf and hard of hearing iOS users wake up when they are supposed to. On this slide, we have the app icon for the DeafWake app. DeafWake helps eliminate the possibility of sleeping in and or being late to meetings. The app helps ensure that deaf individuals or even heavy sleepers are on time and awake when they are supposed to. Instead of relying on sound to wake up, DeafWake is an LED vibrating visual-based alarm clock. It utilizes different features on your iOS device to ensure you wake up, such as a flashing screen, vibration, camera flash, or a combination of all three. This app is great because it helps iOS users be alerted, allows users to choose their senses, add descriptions or reminders to alarms, and works great with Apple's Apple Watches. DeafWake has helped many deaf and hard of hearing iOS users live their day-to-day independently. DeafWake is available to download for a one-time charge of $1.99. Next slide. For users having a difficult time using the iPhone or iPad keyboard, they might benefit from the SuperKeys accessible keyboard app. On this slide, we have the app icon for the SuperKeys accessible keyboard app. SuperKeys is an award-winning accessible keyboard app designed for iOS users. This app allows users to use 7 keys instead of a traditional 30+ keyboard. The keyboard is fully customizable to your personal needs. Users can group any keys together, use color coding, and make the key size bigger. There is no double tapping or swiping needed. SuperKeys also has a built-in smart shortcut board with the ability to select commonly used words and phrases with one touch. This app is available to download in the App Store for a one-time charge of $12.99. Next slide. Colorblind Pal is another great accessibility app designed to help people that are colorblind see colors and help people without vision-based disabilities understand what it's like to be colorblind. It allows all users to see the world through a different set of eyes. On this slide, we have the app icon for the Colorblind Pal app. This app helps colorblind iOS users know the color of things without having to rely on someone else. All you have to do is open the app and point your iOS device's camera at what you want to see. In addition, this app helps users that struggle to read a color-coded map, chart, or graph because it gives them the option to choose colors that are easy for them to distinguish. Best of all, this app is available for free. Next slide. Another accessibility app is the Era app. On this slide, we have the app icon for the Era app. This app lets iOS users connect to real-life people instantly to help simplify their daily life. Era is an app designed to help blind or low-vision users by providing visual interpretation by trained agents for any task. It's an app that unlocks independence and efficiency. The app works with your smart device's camera. Era accesses your device's camera and sends a live stream video to a live agent. The agent is then able to guide the user and describe what is around them. There are free services in the app exclusive to blind and low vision users to enhance accessibility. This app is free to download and comes with a free trial period. After that, the app has different plan options to choose from. This app is great because it lets iOS users instantly connect with professional agents, helps increase daily efficiency, can be linked to other smartphone apps such as Uber or Lyft, and has different plan options depending on your needs. Next slide. OneRecord is a great medical app designed so that users always have their health information with them. On this slide, we have the app icon for the OneRecord app. With this app, iOS users can have all of their medical records, health history, lab results, medications, vaccination records, and so much more, all in just one app. Having all of your health records in a device is great because it gives users the ability to access it whenever they might need it. Users can securely share their medical history with anyone at any time and have the option to download the records if they urgently need it. Another great feature about OneRecord is that it allows users to manage their family's records. All household members can link their health information in the app. The app works well across the US and is available to download for free. Next slide. Sign4Me is an ASL app designed to teach users how to translate sign language. On this slide, we have the app icon for the Sign4Me app. The app provides very cool 3D instructions by a virtual avatar with the ability to sign over 13,000 words. You can type sentences, phrases, single words, and if you're new to ASL, you can even learn the alphabet. Everything entered is automatically saved in the app and can be deleted at any time. This app could benefit deaf or hard of hearing users because it allows them to communicate with others. Sign4Me is available to download for a one-time fee of $9.99. Next slide. Seeing AI is another app designed for low vision and blind iOS users. On this slide, we have the app icon for the Seeing AI app. This app narrates the world around you. When used with VoiceOver, the app can recognize products such as barcodes, documents, people, captured scenes, currency, handwriting, color, lights, images, and so much more. This app is currently available in 70 countries. Seeing AI has helped many low vision and blind individuals perform their daily tasks independently. Best of all, Seeing AI is available at no cost to all Apple users. Next slide. Natural Reader Text-to-Speech is a reading tool app designed for users that have difficulty reading. On this slide, we have the app icon for the Natural Reader Text-to-Speech app. Hearing text allows users to focus less on the act of reading and more on the content they are reading. With the Natural Reader app, users can listen to all kinds of content such as books, PDFs, web pages, pictures, notes, and so much more. The app provides over 100 different realistic voices to choose from so that users can pick a voice they can follow along with. The Natural Reader Text-to-Speech app is free to download and has different subscription packages to choose from. The most common plan is a monthly subscription of $9.99. Next slide. iAccess Life Accessibility is an iOS app designed to give users with disabilities the opportunity to share their voice and experience with accessibility at establishments throughout the world. On this slide, we have the app icon for the iAccess Life Accessibility app. This app is a great tool because it allows users to plan out a day trip, a night out, or a vacation by helping them find establishments that meet their accessibility needs with their accommodation. Users can search for places and read reviews about others' experiences based on accessibility before heading there. The app has reviews for restaurants, gyms, hiking trails, parks, shopping centers, coffee shops, bars, and so much more. It's a great guide app that will allow you to live your life independently as stress-free as possible. The iAccess Life Accessibility app is available to all iOS users for free. Next slide. Alrighty, thank you all for your time today. And remember that what might work for some might not work for everyone. So explore your options so you can find what works best for you. Does anyone have any questions or comments about anything Jessica and I covered today? Or does anyone have any other accessibility iOS features or apps they would like us to share with everyone? Feel free to raise your hand, drop anything in the Q&A or chat. While we give everyone, I'm sorry?
Sorry, Victor. I would just wanted to say that there are a couple questions in the chat.
Okay, perfect. While we give everyone a minute or two to enter their questions in the chat, I am going to come on camera and provide a quick audio description of myself. Okay. So for audio description purposes, I am a Latino man with brown skin, black hair. I am wearing a red and white flannel shirt, and I have my glasses on. I am in front of a purple background with the Ability Tools logo on the upper left-hand corner.
And a quick audio description of myself. I am a Latina woman with brown eyes, brown hair, and I am wearing a white shirt. And I have the Yo Disabled and Proud on my left corner.
Okay, so enter your questions in the Q&A section. I'm going to start reading some of these out loud. So someone asked if we will be sharing the PowerPoint. Yes, we will be sharing the PowerPoint, and we will be providing a handout for all of our participants in the coming week. I have a question from someone. For the audio descriptions, do we find this in general settings to turn on?
This would be found in the accessibility portion. So once you go into your general settings, you would go into accessibility, and then under the vision portion, which is under spoken content, is the audio descriptions, and you'll just make sure to turn that on. Typically it's turned off, but you want to make sure that it's turned on so you can be able to have access to that.
Alrighty. We have another question. For sound recognition, does it alert you through vibration and what other what the sound is, or another way?
So for sound recognition, you can be able to customize the alarm. So it will just be a noise. But typically your regular notes that you have, so like the Tri-County, the chord bamboos. So you can be able to choose that. So that would automatically ring and with that individual noise. However, if you were to want to change it, you can customize it to add an individual ringtone. So that ringtone can like whenever you hear that sound, you can be able to hear a specific ringtone according to that sound. So you can be able to distinguish what sound fits, like which ringtone fits which sound that you are listening to.
Thank you, Jessica. Does Proloquo to Go offer or require a monthly subscription? The answer to that is no. It does not require a monthly subscription. It is just a one-time charge of $249.99. Okay. What is the difference between voice 1 and voice 2 in Siri?
Sorry. Honestly, that one I do not know the answer to. I'll be honest. But what I can say is typically it's more than anything, just being able to listen towards the different way that Siri communicates with you, being able to choose one versus the other. But that's a really good question, Stefan or Steven. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly. I will make sure to look for that information. And once we send out the PowerPoint and then just the Word doc, I'll make sure to add that there so it can automatically be sent towards all of you.
Thank you, Jessica. And we have someone raising their hand. I'm going to allow them to talk. So go ahead and ask your question. Okay, C. Cressman, you're able to talk. So if you want to come on mic and ask your question, feel free to do so. Okay, we will come back to you, C. Cressman. I have another question. Can you tell me about voice over screen recognition? You're on mute, Jessica.
I am very sorry. So once we do once we turn on the voiceover, it would automatically
Alert. Important.
Sorry, I just wanted to make sure I tried it before I spoke.
Okay. Button.
So once we press on the voiceover, it would pretty much change the gestures that we are using on our iPhone to be able to alert us of every individual thing that we are doing. So I just turned mine on just to be able to follow along, and it has activated each individual feature and being
Voice.
And being able to have voiceover be able to respond to me. And honestly, for every single person, if we're not answering as best as we could, please do know that we're taking each and every single one of your questions. We're noting them down so we could be able to respond in the best format through the PowerPoint and then the individual Word doc that we are going to be sending out. Because that's our whole goal, is being able to utilize those resources and be able to expand based on the questions and how we're supporting one another. I know, Don, you just helped answer one of the questions. That's like our whole point, that we can all learn from one another and how to be able to utilize our iOS to be as accessible as possible.
Thank you, Jessica. Can you link the alerts for visual notifications you just talked about to pictures and or vibration patterns? If you are using notifications to advise of sounds, you are likely not going to hear the ringtone.
That is true. So the way that I have it, which is I'm not adding as many notifications, so I can be able to listen towards each individual ringtone. So the more that we add, the less we're going to be able to listen and to be able to distinguish from one another. And that is a little bit unfortunate. So I would say that, like, I would base it upon which sounds we want to recognize the best, just so like it can work out as best as possible, because then if not, it makes it really hard to be able to listen towards a ringtone that it's being shown whenever we get a notification of something occurring.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm going to give it another minute or two in case you guys have any more questions. Feel free to type them in the Q&A, the chat, or raise your hand. Alrighty, well, we don't have any more questions. Thank you all for joining us this morning. We will be dropping our emails in the chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact us. We will be updating and adding some of the resources that some of you guys shared with us this morning to a handout we are putting together for all of our participants. Make sure to look for an email in the next few days. Once again, thank you all so much for your time, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Bye, guys. Bye, everyone.
Victor, sorry, just before we go, once this meeting has ended, you will all receive a link to a SurveyMonkey. Please give us your honest feedback, if any future meetings you would like to see, or any feedback that you have from us, or any future collaborations you would like to see. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Victor and Jessica, for helping run this meeting. Have a good rest of your day. And thank you to our ASL interpreters. Bye-bye.